Hello and welcome to Wrestling and Everything Coast to Coast with your host, Buddy Sotelo Esquire, and this week, very special guest host, Casey Woods and his wife, Kat. But we have, and I was saying just before the show started, that you're one of my all-time favorite guests in the 3 years that I've done this program. The absolutely effervescent Hollywood from Glow, Jeanne Basone. Do you prefer Jeanne or Jeannie?
It's Jeannie.
Jeanne Basone. But also we were talking just before the show started about your boyfriend and what he does musically, because Casey is a huge Kiss fan and obviously a huge fan of Ace Frehley and Gene Simmons. In fact, they named their cat after Gene Simmons. Am I correct?
Yeah, Simmons.
Yes.
Yes, they have a black cat named Simmons that might come wandering in during the show.
Mine are around here too, so I have Lala and Jaja. But great name, you guys. Great name for your.
Are we on the
Yeah.
video thing? Okay.
Yeah,
I can't see.
So we want to catch up with. We're getting everybody on there. You guys are you're a little bit cut off on the right. We're getting half of your face, but we get to see your wife, which is probably more important.
It's perfect. I see both of you guys really well.
Yes, if you just lean forward just a little bit. When you lean back, Casey, you're off the camera.
Yeah.
When you lean forward, you're on. So
that's all that matters, right? Anyway, go ahead.
Before I thought of both of you, or all three of you, because Halloween is coming up, and there's this is my favorite time of the year, and I know it's your favorite time of the year. And Casey, for God's sakes, he's wearing his Halloween T-shirt right now. So
Look at what she's.
What do you have there?
Bela Lugosi.
Oh, Bela Lugosi.
Oh.
I was just playing Bela Lugosi's head by Bauhaus for for the Halloween theme. So anyway, this is a great time of year, and I know you're a huge horror fan. In fact, how did you get started, Jeannie, with horror? What was your first experience with horror? And
growing up in Southern California, not that there's anything scary there besides the smog back in the
freeways. The freeways will scare you.
Right. But I used to we had a little TV that my mom and dad put in my room. It was a little black and white television set. I just loved them. I guess maybe it was before Elvira. I'm trying to remember who else. I was just intrigued with the vampire movies and anything horror-like. And so I started watching them, and I just stay in my room and sit there and watch these. And a lot of them came on, I remember, on the weekends. So there was no school. And it was like afternoon into early night. And I'd sit there and just watch whatever I could. Besides, remember Outer Limits? I know I'm dating myself, but Outer Limits was strange and weird, but I liked it.
It was like the Twilight Zone for people not.
Exactly. I was going to
say poor man's Twilight Zone, but it's.
It wasn't poor. It was. It had some pretty intense episodes.
Totally. So,
but very intriguing, though.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it have this weird circle of
like the hypno discs?
Yes. Yeah.
At the start, and they said, "Do not adjust your TV.
Adjust your screen or something."
Yeah.
It brings back memories, right?
Nice.
So that's how it started for me, and then I went to go see Phantasm, but I had to be a certain age when I was under, so I had to have my mom and dad escort me. And I told them, I go, "You guys sit way in the back, and we're going to sit down here."
Phantasm is still scary, by the way. If you watch it again, it's one of those movies that holds up as far as creepy and
it's the tall man. That's what's
creepy. Yes, and that thing that went in his head and drilled in his head.
Yeah, it's like, what is that?
Right? Wasn't that wow?
But it messes you up a little bit.
Yeah, it can.
You think about what is that?
There was still drive-in theaters when I was growing up. So mom and dad took us to see, it was a double feature. One was for kids, and the second one was a little more maybe PGR. And we were supposed to go to sleep. It was Beneath the Planet of the Apes, and I love all that ape stuff. Wow. I remember in the El Camino looking up over to watch.
So you guys
Started with me. So,
Casey and Kat, how do you guys get started with horror?
I don't know if I started with horror actually from the show I was watching,
You have
but
a story about it.
actually it starts with Dracula off Sesame Street. He was my favorite. So
The Count. The Count.
I go back to him. But anyways, no, I would have to say, yeah. We had Sir Graves. We had was Vincent Price growing up.
yes.
The Monsters, the Addams Family, Elvira, just
Right.
anything I could watch. Yep. Just I love vampire everything. I would be happy.
You know what, guys? I hate to say it, but as a kid watching the vampire, I always want villains to win. I'm like, vampire, get her, go get her.
Well, sometimes the heroes are so stupid in those movies. You're like, you know what, Jason, go ahead and hit him with an axe. You know, go ahead and Leatherface, hit him with a chainsaw. Because these people should not reproduce in any of the characters, should not reproduce. And that's all they're having is sex during the movie anyway.
Right.
So, you know, you're like, you know what, this is birth control that helps society, you know, overall. But,
I agree with you on that 100%.
What a good way to think of it, right?
I hate when people are running and they always fall down.
Yes.
Why are you falling
Right.
down? Get the F out.
yes.
What are you,
Why
why are you going upstairs? Why are you going down in the basement? Get out. Right under a branch.
They're always running. The girl is running, and she looks back and she trips over the, tree.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
What do you, and the car won't start.
Yes, or the keys. You can't get the keys.
Yeah.
Keys
I
are
can't
fumbling
get the
out.
keys. Are you kidding me? The first thing I would do was starting the car really quick.
Let's talk a little bit about your favorites. So I know that I have a list of so many things, but first of all, let's just hit the easy one, which is your favorite Halloween candy. Your favorite Halloween candy.
Well, I didn't open up the package, but I brought a Crunch Bar, a little one. See how little it is?
I love those.
I do too, but it's not my favorite. Snickers is my favorite, and I didn't want to open up that package.
Right now.
Yeah. I think of the Kit Kats. Little Kit
Kit
Kats.
Kats, yes.
Those are good too. So now, you know what, you guys, the Crunch Bars remind me of going into the theater and having that big giant Crunch Bar. I don't know if there was Kit Kats in the 70s. Was there Kit Kats?
Yeah, they had big long Kit Kats. They had big long Kit Kats.
Not the 70s.
Well,
There was
I'm
always
trying to think back.
So I know.
I remember.
There's always popcorn
Always popcorn. Sure.
Yeah.
and red vines.
Yes.
Oh my God, you had to have red vines.
Yeah, I have
Yep.
had those. Like the straws.
Well, what I love doing as part of the dad tax here when we go trick-or-treating with my kids is that I confiscate all their M&Ms. And what I really love doing is getting the package of peanut M&Ms and the package of regular M&Ms and opening up both packs and pouring both in my mouth and just having a huge M&M explosion in my mouth.
It was not to be weird, but you froze and then you came back with explosion.
Oh,
So I'm like, I didn't know.
no, I was talking about M&Ms there. But let's also, do you guys have a favorite Halloween song of yours?
Oh, the Monster Mash.
Monster Mash?
Yes.
And which version? There's so many.
Not Halloween.
I don't know.
There's a Misfits version of it. That's a real hard rocking version of the Monster Mash, and then there's lots of other covers of it. What about you, Jeannie?
Well, if I go back to being in elementary school, there was a song that went, "Tonight is the night when dead leaves fly like witches on switches across the sky."
Oh yeah, that's Grim Grinning Ghosts.
That was my first experience on a Halloween song. But when I think about Halloween, as I got older and as an adolescent, I went straight to Licorice Pizza, and I bought Masters of Reality by Black Sabbath.
Oh,
That to me reminds me of Halloween, so that's mine. Children of the Grave, Children of the Grave. That's a scary song.
I don't know if you folks are aware of Jonathan Colton's work, but he's kind of like the geek's musician, and he does video game themes, and he's written a song called "Re Your Brains," which is about a guy, a corporate guy gets turned into a zombie, and he hunts down his friend.
Your brain.
He's like, yeah, but he's trying to do like a meeting. He's like more or less trying to make it like a corporate meeting instead of like he's going to come in and bash his head open and feast on his brain. It's real cute. It's one of the ones you might want to check out on YouTube.
And also really nerdy, you know, 1, 2, Freddy's Coming for You. You can go with that one too.
We just watched that last night. Me and my daughter watched.
Your daughter?
What did you watch?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
The Monsters theme song.
You know, that's the thing. Now, my daughter's 12, and you go, oh, my God, you're letting your 12-year-old see these things.
No, I'm not saying that. No, I think it's beautiful.
The Walking Dead on TV, with regular TV that anyone can watch, is scarier than anything from Friday the 13th, anything from Nightmare on Elm Street, and even Poltergeist, which has moments, and it's still a good film, is not as scary in terms of what we now see on regular TV. So it's like, I showed my daughter, I've been trying to like show her like the evolution of fear, you know, and horror. And so we started with the birds. We started with Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. And while that's masterfully done, it's not scary, folks. It scared people in the 50s and 60s.
Well,
but
if you look, in the 50s.
Yeah, if you look at it now and you're like, no, that's a bunch of birds. That's what the heck.
They were scary birds. What those things?
They were scary birds. I love it. They were
scary to me. Those things were all over the place. They were pecking out their eyeballs and stuff. I'm like, oh!
And then, like the blood from the 50s is just like little mascara, you know, that they like put on there. You know, you're like, that doesn't look real at all. I mean, compared to like, you know, like some of the stuff that you see later, you know, and you know, they get so graphic, you know, and the horror levels like Saw or something like that. You know, you compare the kind of like goriness and the realisticness of everything. And then so we evolved from that to Jaws. You know, it's like, you know,
geez, get her started on this one.
That's my second scary movie.
She can't stand.
I don't like it.
We went from Jaws to Cujo. That's the 80s.
That's another one.
And then we finished with Cocaine Bear.
Right?
Oh my!
You know, that's the evolution of scary animal movies. Goes from, you know, from the birds to Cocaine Bear.
We watched the Pooh Bear movie the other day. And
yeah, how bad was that?
Brutal. It was pretty brutal.
I thought, you know, it's gonna be a stupid joke.
Yeah.
Thing. I was like, wow, they're smashing each other's heads in.
There was a couple times where we were both going, wow. In unison.
The blood and honey.
It was wild.
Yeah. Did you hear like a fourth grade? Did you hear a fourth grade teacher thought it was the actual like Winnie the Pooh movie itself and started showing it to her kids?
Oh man!
Yeah, this is not
Winnie
the Pooh. I was thinking that's a weird.
So would this be the crazy animal movies?
Yeah, question.
Oh yeah.
So you guys, I see it all the time on TCM. The Incredible Shrinking Man when he's being hunted by that cat.
The spider or the spider.
Or the cat.
Oh yeah.
And he's going into the playhouse, that little dollhouse, and the cat's trying to.
It's a good call. It's a good call. That at the time, those were the greatest special effects you could get. You know.
I know.
And we're a little bit past that nowadays, but you know, it was the like stuff like Them was such a scary movie back in the day, and now you look at it and you go, who would be afraid of like a bunch of, you know, giant
or an Ed Wood movie with the string of the bat. You know,
absolutely, or the UFOs that you can see.
Yes, the UFO
flying around. So your favorite movie is the animal movie is the Incredible Shrinking Man because of the
kid,
animal thing?
the cat. But Cujo, super scary. I was just like, oh.
Cujo still is pretty scary.
It is
when you watch
Yeah,
it.
I said, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up.
Pet Cemetery.
I won't let my daughter watch that one. That's the one I won't let her watch because she loves animals so much. I'm like, you love animals.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
that was a good one.
Yes. So, moving on, let's talk. You asked the question on your own page, and you got like 75 responses for what your favorite vampire movie was. That was.
Yeah, you're cheating. I already knew.
You're cheating.
It was hard. That's a hard question.
People were thinking. It's such a great topic during this time.
Yeah, so tell us about your favorite vampire movie, and I hate to put you on the spot because I know it's like picking your favorite child. It's
hard because there's like 2 or 3, but Nosferatu is super freaking scary because there's no other vampire that quite looks like him.
Yeah,
Salem's Lot.
He looks like he's from another planet.
Oh, his creepy little fingers
and his ears, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even.
And it's the way that it's black and white and just so like choppy and like not clean. You know, it has that. That real gothic look to it.
So slow with the walk, you know.
Yeah, he's creepy looking. I mean, then there was another one that's very cool, and I've only seen it maybe once or twice. It's The Fearless Vampire Killers with Sharon Tate, Roman Polanski. Have you seen that?
No, I have not. I have not. So there's a good tip for our viewing audience. I'm sorry,
Casey.
Are we still on there?
Yeah, you're still on. You are cutting off a little bit. It might be.
It keeps like it shuts out.
Yeah, we're freezing a lot over on our end.
I think it may be your connection, unfortunately, because Jeanne's coming fine.
You guys are on.
But you're on, so continue.
Okay, I can see how I look. Hope my hair looks good. Anyway, back to the vamp.
So what's your favorite vampire film?
You're asking me or her?
Well, I had 2 different. There was 2 different questions that he had written down. So
yeah, we actually thought about this.
Yeah, because if it was best vampire movie, there's 3 movies that I love so much, so I can't pick one of them.
Well, throw them out here.
Zombie. Okay, with Bella on that one, but best classical movie, I said Dracula, Bela Lugosi. So I love him.
Well, you got the shirt, so that obviously says something right there.
Yeah.
What were your other 2 favorite vampire films?
Oh, I love Bram Stoker's Dracula. I love Interview with the Vampire. I love Queen of the Damned. That soundtrack is phenomenal. And then what was the other one? Lost Boys.
No, Lost Boys was
Lost
Boys was my first pick.
It's like I couldn't pick between the first 3 movies, and it was like, all right, fine, I'll go with White Zombie. I'm like, I'll pick something else.
I'm gonna go
Lost Boys.
Oh yeah, Lost Boys was great. I mean, it made Santa Cruz famous, and at least the Under the Boardwalk famous.
Wonderful movie.
Yeah.
I hope they never remake that.
I think they are remaking it, sadly. So we'll see how that
remake the movie.
It shouldn't be, but it probably will.
And if you
I'm sure.
Dracula Untold was good. It was really good too.
I'm going to go completely out of left field, though. And the one film that nobody named on that huge list was Let the Right One In.
I don't know that.
You guys ever heard of that one either? Nobody knows about it. It's about.
I think we're all in the dark.
Yeah, it's about a vampire in Sweden that moves to Sweden because it's nighttime all the time. and it's about but it's a girl who get like 16 years old who gets turned into a vampire, and she has no friends, and she like befriends another kid who has no friends either, and it's really moody and depressing because it's nighttime all the time and there's snow falling all the time. It kind of reminds you like what life is like for people in the Arctic and why they may drink so much as they do, because when you stuck
Cheers.
let the right one in.
What year? Do you know the year?
Oh, that was like 2010 or something. So it's a relatively modern vampire movie, but it's different. I think what you'll like about it is it's slow paced, but it's moody because of the scenery that where it's set, and the way it's the way it's plotted is much, isn't just somebody running around biting people constantly, And then I will also throw Once Bitten, Twice Shy, the one with Jim Carrey, kind of a zany one, but
it's so bad it's great.
Yes, I agree with that. It goes all the way to, like, it makes so much fun of vampire movies, and sometimes vampire movies take themselves a little bit too seriously.
Yeah.
So
that's point, obviously, I would think, but it's one of those movies you watch, you know where it's going, but it's like I can't stop watching.
Absolutely. So what now, this is my favorite topic, which is, what is your favorite zombie movie, Jeanne?
Oh, what is my zombie movies? Oh, well, I like Night of the Living Dead. Is that what, 1967?
Yeah, the original one with George Romero.
Yeah, I put it down.
Did you put that down? I love that one.
Yeah, let's prepare for this.
Car, doesn't she fall down too?
Yes.
It's ridiculous. Everybody falls down.
Or drives into a ditch and hits a tree.
Yeah.
The car won't start. She can't drive straight and hits a tree.
That's what it is. Yes. That's mine.
You gotta love it.
Okay, what about you two?
And there's never a signal on your cell phone.
Yeah. Well, in the 60s, they didn't have
phones back.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's something I have to keep explaining to my daughter. She's like, sees stuff from the 80s. She's like, well, why don't you just use a cell phone to call for help? And I'm like, we didn't have one back then. Yeah, cell phone changes a lot. But of course, they always get dunked in water or no bars wherever they happen to in modern times. So, what about you two? What are your two favorite zombie films?
Oh my god!
Yeah, you froze again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I'm talking to Casey.
I was trying to have a sense of humor about the zombie movies, because he wrote down best zombie movie, and I said, well, The Devil's Rejects.
That's more the psycho killer film, I think. I put The Devil's Rejects as a psycho killer film.
I like Frankenstein, and I like Dracula, like vampire movies and stuff like that. I didn't watch a whole bunch of the zombie movies, so I was trying to have a sense of humor about it.
That's
so
Simmons?
Because it said that zombie movie, I was like, well, Rob Zombie created movies. I'll just go with that one.
Is that Simmons?
Movies. Good call.
No,
That's
Simmons is hiding.
That's Samantha.
Okay. But we love having...
Just saying...
Yeah. Simmons is probably hiding somewhere.
Hi, Kitty. Mine was
Anyway.
just a minute ago.
Casey, what's your favorite zombie movie?
What did I write down? It's so... There's so many zombie movies. That's really...
I thought Shaun of the Dead was funny. It was stupid and funny.
Yes, agreed.
That's my favorite. I think it's clever.
The rap song when he does that, that's hilarious.
You ever seen the Reanimator? That was a good one.
The Reanimator. Oh, God, yes. I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind
is
of
a
a
freaky movie.
if you think about it, it's a zombie movie. It's
Oh, it
weird.
sure
It's
is.
pretty messed up.
Absolutely.
That one is a little messed up. That's all I can say. Which is the point, I guess.
I did like the Dawn of the Dead remake they did in 2004. That one was, especially the ending. If you watch all the way to the very end, where they're on the boat and then they run out of supplies and they have to go back to land eventually. And when they get back to land, the last scene is just showing the camera with just like a million zombies all running at them at the same time. I also liked 28 Days Later.
28 Days was great. Yep, that was a good one.
Good. I remember that one.
That was pretty good, and so was the what was it? It was not Day of the Dead. It was the Return of the Living Dead. The Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, okay.
There's so many.
Yeah, that one came in the 80s. It's such an 80s like movie, and it's just it got so many like 80s references to them, so it kind of stands out as being kind of an example of that. So
the soundtrack was totally 80s.
Yes, very, very much.
The Thriller video was awesome.
Sure.
Actually, that was days. That was a really good video.
Hey guys,
the makeup looked fantastic.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna actually drop you guys from the call, and I'm gonna call you guys back because your connection is just dropping off so much. So let me give you guys a call back for 1 second. All right? Thanks.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Jeannie. It's you never know.
Okay, right?
Yeah. Oh, you're coming in great.
Yeah, I bought an extended a Wi-Fi extender for my studio because I was doing what they were doing. And as soon as I bought it,
made a big difference, didn't it?
Yes, it makes a great difference. And I do these all the time, so I need to be.
I'm directly connected with I'm Ethernet to my router, so fortunately I always get the.
Well, mine is upstairs, and that's 2 stories up from here, so it wasn't going through properly. So I just got the extender, and it works.
Great. Well, no, it is working very well. And while we have a minute, do you want to talk about any of your upcoming projects or things that you have going on?
That is nearly done. I'm pretty much done finishing it. I'm just waiting on a publishing company that loved the pitch, and they said, "We want to read it." So I'm waiting for them to read it. They haven't said no yet, but if that happens, it does. If not, I can self-publish. But I'm super excited. So that if I self-publish,
who can say no to you? Who can say no to you?
Oh, they can.
Oh, then they don't know what they're doing. They say no to you. They are missing out.
Real quick, we've got LA Comic-Con in December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We've done those several times, and Matt Simber, our director, will be there. I will be there. Lightning will be there. Thunderbolt will attend, and I think Little Egypt will be there this time. So
okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
That is. And, maybe one of these days they will bring back the Glow TV show, that some other network will see the value.
I'm working on that.
Okay. Well, let us know what we can. Oh, I think we got Casey and Kat back. You guys back here?
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah.
Camera's on.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can.
I can hear you, but we can't see you. Come here, Bubba.
Yeah, you can bring your cat on the show. Or is it your dog?
My Halloween candy early.
Nice. Well, I don't understand why people buy a huge bag right at the beginning of September and expect it to be there for Halloween.
Look who's here.
Oh my gosh.
There we are.
He is a big cat.
Yes, she is. This is Lala. Lala.
Wow.
Lala. Okay.
You guys seem to be coming in a little bit better now. So thanks. Oh.
Yeah. Here, what, see, here's
now
sprinkling
and
paper.
stuff.
Good.
Okay,
Right.
where did we get off? I forget.
Yeah, well, we were on zombie movies. We can move on. What
Yeah.
about alien invasion movies? Or alien movies themselves?
There's
Oh,
a couple.
I love.
Killer Clowns from
Yeah.
Outer Space.
I do
Yeah.
remember
was it?
renting that a long time ago.
Aliens.
Oh, aliens. I'm out on that. I don't
The fourth kind.
know nothing about aliens.
That was a
Alien-
good one.
Good.
The fourth
Uh,
kind?
War of the
The
Worlds,
fourth
remember?
kind.
War
The
of the
original
Worlds.
one is really intense.
I think I'm talking about the 2005 one.
Oh, the one with Tom
I
Cruise.
think
Tom Cruise.
Well, the first one obviously caused a huge panic, when they did in the 20s or whatever, the 30s.
I love it. See, I love that.
Yeah,
stuff.
they thought it was a shoot. They thought it was a real.
over the radio and everything.
It was maybe the
Really?
greatest work ever pulled off on the
Yeah.
radio public.
That's crazy.
It
What
is
about
great.
Mars Attacks? Do
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys like that
I
movie?
saw-
Yeah.
It's
It's my favorite though.
really what is your favorite?
I told you. I said the Killer Clowns from Outer
Oh,
Space.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, Killer.
Yeah,
well, I've seen that
I'm
one.
serious. I was serious.
It is pretty zany, and there was talk that they actually wanted to try to do a remake of it, but I don't know if that ever got kick-started. They were gonna have a Kickstarter go with that, but
Well, you never know, right? You never
yes. I'm also thinking about what about When the Earth Stood Still?
know. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that
that's a good movie. That's
That's
a
a good
good
one.
movie.
I haven't seen that for. Jeez.
Gort was really awesome. He was one of my favorite robots growing up.
That's it. That's a good one.
Well,
What-
thank you.
What's the name of that robot again?
Gort.
Is he the one that the astronaut asks he wants booze? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and then Uatu is the guy, the envoy from the other world that's done, and not the remake of
Booze.
when
I
the
don't remember that.
Day the Earth Stood Still.
I-
There's a remake of it that's horrible, but
It's horrible.
The one you're talking about is good. Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
yes. What about your favorite haunted house film or haunting film?
Oh,
Haunted.
God. Amityville.
Oh, yeah. Amityville.
Yeah.
that's a tough one. They're all tough ones.
Yeah, I know.
That's
Well,
a
but you have to sit there and really think.
Are you saying
I know.
the demon devil movies? No.
Oh, well, you could throw those in. Those are possession films.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
okay. Okay,
yeah.
you started there.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were completely a little different world.
Oh, man.
Where do we go with that one?
Well, like The Exorcist and
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That movie scared the crap out of me.
it's
They
still
put it
scary.
on. Yes. I think
I
it's the
thought-
scariest movie ever made.
I do too. I don't even know how a child actor can do that. I would.
Matt, I'm going to tell you my experience with the
She's got a good
Exorcist.
story about this.
Okay, so my parents were refinishing the doors in the house. So we didn't have a bedroom door on our room at the time. And my sister and I had bunk beds. I was 8. Okay, so I'm sleeping and all of a sudden I wake up to this noise and I'm looking around the room and I'm like, what the hell is that? I hear this growling and everything. They put it on TV for the first time and my parents were watching it while we were sleeping. So I climbed down out of the bed because I'm like, what the hell is that? Never heard that before. And I peered around the corner and I was like, oh my God, I figured the priest's out. I figured something's really wrong with this kid. Okay. Then she threw up the pea soup, her head spun in a circle. I scaled up the side of that bed and got back in bed, and I had to listen to the rest of The Exorcist from the other room at 8. So I had to wait all those years to finally be able to see it, and it scared the crap movie scared me to death.
Wow.
You know, I'm thinking, I've never seen anything like that before. And I believed at 8 years old that her head really did turn in a circle.
Well, yeah, I mean, the effects were so intense for the time, and and just so so over the top.
I just went and saw it in theaters like 3 weeks ago, not even that.
Yeah. Well, they said that,
They replayed it in the theater. And
when
I went
they
and watched
played it
it
in the theater and in the beginning, people were having panic attacks, passing
Puking
out,
and
fainting.
pissing.
Some people went into labor.
That's one thing is that my kid has sort of not grown up with the theater experience for horror,
Right.
And understand that there's like something different about being in a fully dark place with other people who are all scared at the same time that you are, but you're all having individual experiences with the movie, but collectively you're all scared. And she's watching with me, and I've seen these movies like 50, 60, 75 times. So like I'm just waiting for the parts to happen. I'm like, oh, okay, this is where Freddy gets set on fire. So like to me, there's no anticipation of anything like that. But with my daughter, since the first time that she's seen all these, they're pretty intense for her. But I think they would be more intense if she saw them like you did in the theater. And that is one thing that sort of having to get used to is horror. But horror at home, where you can control things and you can pause the movie and
you can go take a
turn on the lights. Yeah, turn on the lights, get the shotgun out, in case you're really
there you go.
That kind of thing. So let's talk. Oh, and for me, I just saw Poltergeist again, and I still think that's my favorite.
Yeah,
that's my favorite possession movie. It still holds up really well.
Horror. I saw Amityville Horror in the drive-in theater, and there's a part in the movie where they keep looking at the clock and it keeps saying 3:33, 3:33.
Right.
You guys not home that night, and I don't know if it was just stuck in my mind. I woke up in the middle of the night and go, please, 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 may it not be 3:33. And it was 3:33.
Oh shit.
God, you cannot make this up ever. I freaked out. I'm like, oh.
Wow. Well, that's what horror will do for you. That's
I don't think that movie sense, you guys, because I don't want to wake up at 3:33.
Unplug your clock. Unplug your clock if you do see it again, so that and you'll plug it back in when you wake up the next day. So,
but that's true. No, I'm telling you the God's honest truth. 33.
I believe it.
A scooch.
Yes.
So let's talk about the demonic. Let's talk about the haunting stuff.
The psycho stuff.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yes, the Psycho Killer movie.
The Psycho Killers. There's a lot of Psycho Killers out there.
Sure are.
That one.
The Strangers, I thought was good because you never.
I love The Strangers.
That was really good.
Who said Strangers? I don't know if I remember that.
Silence of the Lambs.
Oh yeah, Silence of the Lambs is great. You know what I think it's great is Misery.
Misery.
God, yeah. The Shining. Anything.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
Love.
Well, I know. Psycho. Anthony Perkins. Hello.
Yep.
You guys remember the hitchhiker, the one that was following?
Yes.
Remember?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Cape Fear. How about Cape Fear, you guys?
That's
Cape Fear is good.
Movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Very good movie.
We're done with this. We're gonna watch.
At least that's what we're gonna do. We decided when we're done, we're gonna watch movies.
Yeah, catch up on catch up and rewatch them. Sometimes it's interesting to watch them over again. Ones you haven't seen for like 20, 30 years. You surprise yourself. You're like, when's the last time you saw Cape Fear, for instance?
Right.
Yeah, it's been a long time. That sounds great.
I watched the old one last week or the week after before on TCM. The one with Gregory Peck.
Yes, and he's pretty damn scary in that too. You know.
Yeah.
He's such a great actor. But Misery was a great one that you pointed out too.
Yes,
That
right.
was I showed that one to my daughter because I said that one.
That one. So that one's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not gory except for the one foot part, which I
Right.
walked out of the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, it's more of a suspense kind of Hitchcockian type of thing, and it's really Kathy Bates at her acting best,
Oh,
my
for
opinion.
sure.
I just
She was
that whole speech about how he didn't get out of the cock-a-doodle car.
Oh,
Yeah. And the little thing just moved. The little thing,
Yeah,
she
did you notice that
little
one
thing-
little thing
oh
moved.
yeah. Well, yes.
was moved on the desk. I know you've been out there, whatever she said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, she's
Notice
so
that
good.
little duck
He cut
moved.
Knock that part.
Yeah, she did. She nailed it.
Yeah,
Literally.
no, I love that movie
So good.
also.
You know
What
what?
about-
I forgot the 13th too.
Yeah, the Friday the 13th, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh my
stuff.
gosh.
The first one is
Oh, yeah.
genuinely scary. The first
I
one,
saw-
Yeah.
it
Oh,
really,
absolutely.
it's because
I
it's
love
so
it's
gritty.
one thing.
Nightmare Before. Yeah. On Elm Street. The
Yeah,
first
yeah,
one's
the-
the best.
Yeah. Isn't that with him?
Horror
Isn't
horror
it?
fans might say, "Oh, you're just being a horror fan." No, the first Friday Elm Street was freaking phenomenal.
It was excellent. It was a great movie.
It was scary as shit. I mean, why was there sheep running around and he's making claws and stuff? You
We
don't know
just
what the
watched
heck's
it last
going-
night. Me and my daughter watched it last night.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one. You know,
Yeah, that one's really.
do you know they made
good.
9 Friday the Nightmare on Elm Street movies?
9?
There's 9 of them.
Wow.
Well, how many?
And then they had
Oh,
Freddy
geez.
against Jason. They had Freddy
That was
versus
good.
Jason.
I liked that.
I liked it. I went to the theater and watched that actually.
Yeah,
I
so
thought it was-
you know, there's just something about who. So who do you actually like more, Freddy or Jason? That's a good question.
Well, that's difficult.
They're both
I
scary.
can. I can
Or
give
Michael
you an answer.
Myers. Let's throw Michael Myers in there too.
Yes. Halloween.
Don't put-
Damn Jim.
I just being mean.
You've got your Halloween shirt on right now.
Halloween.
I know.
What a great.
The first one really
Yes.
scares you. That one,
Yeah,
I remember
all-
that was one of the first things I ever rented on VCR. Then we
Oh, wow.
being all my friend and my parents were gone for the weekend, so we get we got my parents' VCR and we went to the rental place. We got Halloween, like 8 people all watched Halloween together on the old
Cool.
VHS tape, and it was quite suspenseful there. So
Very.
yeah, they've made Michael Myers has certainly made a franchise out of himself.
Oh yeah. Sure.
So out of the 3, who do you think is the scariest?
I think Michael
Well, I can-
Myers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Michael Myers for me.
I'm a Freddy Krueger fan because
love him.
he's
Well, he's made to be designed to
He actually
go
talks.
against nightmares. Yeah, you
Yeah.
know.
so fucking with. Sorry, he always has that thing. He
He
can
enjoys
talk to
messing
you.
with you.
Yeah, he messes with your brain, and
Right.
Mike can't talk. He's scared of water.
Yep. No, Jason's scared of water.
Jason's scared of water. I don't think Michael
Jason's
Myers is scared
scared
of
of
anything.
I think I don't know. Because you couldn't kill him. It didn't matter. It just didn't matter what you did to him. You couldn't kill him.
We can't kill any of them. That's the point, right?
Oh yeah.
Now they get 9 that's why they're in 9 or 10 films each. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
Unbelievable.
Dracula, you know, for a while you just can't keep Dracula down. He keeps showing up no matter what, you know.
It sits up.
How about your
Undertaker.
giant monster movies? What do you guys love as far as
Well,
King Kong.
For classics, you can go with King Kong and Godzilla. But then what first came to mind is the 50-foot woman. She's not a monster, but she's a giant.
Yeah, she fits in the monster category.
Yeah.
She does. She does.
She was
Oh, a monster.
She's giant.
But definitely giant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was giant, but she's not a monster.
I don't. Sorry, you guys froze again.
We're back, but yeah, you guys.
You, guys,
I'm like, I can't hear a thing.
you kids are freezing on us.
Yes, I have giants.
You want to call it back?
No, we'll just we're almost at the end here, so we'll
I
but-
think
what would you say for your giant monster movie? What do you guys say with Cloverfield?
but what year?
Oh, the first one.
You won't even. You mean the black and white one?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely. That's the first movie I got to see at the drive-in.
Which one was that?
King Kong.
Oh, King Kong,
yeah.
the Ray Harryhausen. Yes. What did you guys think of Cloverfield, though?
That was amazing.
I need to get my
watch that
son to
again.
watch that. And then Pacific Rim. What did you guys think of Pacific Rim?
This is great because y'all are giving, everybody's giving different input, and you have given us about 15 movies now that we have to go watch.
Yeah.
Or
That's
rewatch
great.
this. Yeah.
Whoever
You watch.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to rewatch Killer Clowns from Outer Space with my daughter. I think actually
Oh,
she
you
would
would.
like that movie. She would. It's just zany enough. And
It
now,
is zany.
and now that she's seen the Poltergeist clown, she now knows like why I hate clowns. So like, and even she was like, "Why would you put that in a room?"
Poltergeist, yeah, that clown.
The Terrifier clown's pretty scary too.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Oh yeah, that was scary.
There you go. I didn't think
What
about that.
Yep.
Saw. What would Saw come under? Remember all the Saw movies?
Love Saw.
Yeah, the first one was really. They're all pretty messed up.
They're all messed up. Absolutely.
Yeah, and what you would call, I'd say that's the psycho killer movie.
Yeah.
That falls into the more psycho killer type thing. But gosh, yeah, no, it's fun to talk about monster movies. What about the classic ones, the ones from what they call the Universal classic movies?
Frankenstein.
Yes.
See, I was gonna
Frankenstein,
say, let her go. Let
Bride
you
of
go.
Frankenstein.
Right. The Mummy. Dracula.
The Mummy, The Invisible Man.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh,
Lon Chaney,
She can-
Lon Chaney and his makeup
just-
before the days of
Legend.
CGI.
mhm.
Werewolf.
The Wolfman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Wolfman.
Wolfman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Although there is a whole second category of werewolf movies that I didn't even think of.
Oh yeah.
bringing up, to
I would also say Underworld.
See, she
You
would know.
I was a teenage werewolf.
Werewolves and the vampires, so that's a great,
Teen Wolf.
uh,
or Michael J. Fox
Pardon
in Teen Wolf.
he was phenomenal. He was funny, and he was great in that role.
Yes, he was.
That's one I should
He was-
also have my daughter see. I think she'd enjoy
Yeah.
Teen Wolf too.
Yeah.
Good movie.
So,
Yeah, I wouldn't
How about
think that we were.
The Phantom? Kiss meets the Phantom.
Oh.
Now that's scary.
The best movie.
I
I couldn't wait to see that. I remember
I have the original
coming home to watch
VHS
it.
right here.
of Kiss meets the Phantom.
Absolutely.
I have
Wow.
my DVD signed by Gene Simmons. I had him sign the DVD for me.
I can recite the entire movie to you right now.
I know you.
I think we don't have enough time for that. We'll have to do a special episode just for you to go through Kissing the Phantom.
Yeah, right.
And then what?
But so let's
This
see. Did we
whole-
miss out on any other any?
Oh, did
Yes,
I
she
think
missed
like,
it up.
Apocalyptic.
Oh
Apocalyptic.
yes, that's
That
it.
I'm out of. I have no idea what that even means.
Mad Max.
That's good.
The first one or the Road Warrior.
I like
The first one.
I like both of them. The first one is
Road
the best,
Warrior's
but
way better. Mad Max is slow to start
he
with.
didn't do a bad job on it.
It gets better towards the end, but Mad Max is slow to start.
Yeah.
To start with.
Agreed.
Mhm.
But the Road Warrior
Kinda like the-
starts off, and Fury Road is just both of those are just nonstop adrenaline pumping movies. It never slow down at
Yeah.
all. I love
This
both of those.
Did you all see A Quiet Place?
No, not yet.
Ooh, you
No.
should
I
see
don't
it.
think so.
Okay,
I
that's.
like-
We will.
I did just get done binge watching The Last of Us.
The Last of Us? No, I haven't seen that.
That's a great new show.
Walking Dead on TV. The Walking Dead. I think we talked about that in the beginning.
Right. But I'm going to go off left field. Have you guys ever seen A Boy and His Dog?
I've heard of it. Who's in it again?
Don Johnson's first movie.
Then I don't think I've seen it.
No, I don't think so.
It is
Oh,
a
that's
fantastic apocalypse movie.
Oh, cool.
About a guy who has a psychic link with his dog.
I'm kidding.
Wow.
And the dog
I have
is
no
so
idea.
funny. The dog is so damn funny. You know, his interaction.
Doesn't get hurt. I'm good.
He has his moments, but I don't want to spoiler alert it at all. But it's got one of my favorite lines from any movie ever, which is get another Carl from the damn warehouse, and this time wipe the goddamn smile off of his face. You wouldn't understand that until you see it, but when you see it, you'll go, oh my god, that was clever. That's a clever line. But it's a post-apocalyptic thing. It's about a guy who finds a secret society in a bunker way down underneath, and what they do to this fake, like this Australian version of a fake America, like everybody that's underneath there down under is just like they play like the Star Spangled Banner all the time on loudspeakers constantly.
I saw that a long time ago.
Yeah, it's from like the early 80s. It's from like 81.
Maybe.
So it's worth a rewatch if you haven't seen it.
Okay.
A little bit, not safe for work stuff.
Boy and his dog.
Yes, I highly recommend that if you haven't seen it. Especially if you want to see a super, super young Don Johnson. He's like 20 in that
A
movie.
kid.
So,
Yeah. Baby.
yeah. So anyway, we're almost at the end of the hour here. I think we covered all the great movies, and there's obviously tons of ones that we didn't cover, but I really appreciate you guys' time tonight, and I know we had to change the time a little bit, but I really appreciate seeing you again, Jeannie, and we want to have you on again when you're closer to releasing your book, and maybe before your appearance before the Comic Con, if you want to promote that, anything at all. And of course, Casey, it's always great having you on. We need to do something about your connection, but we'll work on that tech wise, and hopefully catch you at a better time.
Like that. I love being on. A privilege to be on your show.
Oh yeah.
Well,
absolutely. Thank you for having me. And you're
it's
awesome.
our privilege here with you.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone. We'll see you all later. Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.